Yo, to the Abyss, and you're watching my review for JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 3, Stardust Crusaders Episode 5. Alright, Biggie Langston 5. Alright, no one's gonna get that reference. But this episode started off in the restaurant, just like last episode, and I'm not gonna call him restaurant, just like last episode, and I'm not gonna call him Polnareff. I'm definitely not. I'm just gonna keep calling him Silver. All right. I'm not gonna call him Jean Pierre either, because that's the dude just. I get that he's French and all, but the dude just not. He just doesn't look like a Jean Pierre. Like, you don't picture Jean Pierre as having freaking silver hair that like shoots up like. He just doesn't look like a Jean Pierre. All right. So I'm gonna keep calling him Silver. All right. But whatever. Um, so he ends up demonstrating his swordsmanship with Silver Chariot by throwing coins up in the air, and not only piercing the coins, but piercing the fire as well. All right, so he can just like slap fire back and all that stuff too. So that's pretty impressive. And he says to let Avdol fight better, they should move the fight to an open area. So they go to a more open area. All right, that's when the fight starts. And Silver Chariot starts off just stabbing at Magician's Red and everything, and he ends up carving out a statue of Magician's Red. So that was actually kind of funny. It was kind of funny, and it ended up becoming pretty relevant later because after seeing this, Abdul ended up using Crossfire Hurricane. All right, and Silver Chariot boom hits it, sends it right back at him, and it seemingly beat him. All right, because both Magician's Red and Avdol are like burning now. All right, which you would assume Magician's Red can't be burned because it's controlling. But whatever. Like it, you would think like when the guy has fire surrounding his hands and all that stuff, like it's not hurting him. But whatever. Um, he ends up having Magician's Red fly at Silver and Silver Chariot. However, it's not actually Magician's Red. It's actually the statue that was carved out by Silver Chariot before. All right. So when Silver Chariot cuts through it, it doesn't destroy Magician's Red because it's not Magician's Red, it's a statue. Then it ends up getting burned, which means Silver himself ends up getting burned. But it turns out that it's just the armor that gets burned. Alright? So then he takes up the armor, then everything's alright. And they start the fight over again. And since the armor is off, he's lighter now as well. Alright, so he's faster and all that stuff. And he's even able to create shadow clones of himself now. Alright, so he does that. And the fight actually got really epic after that. I loved how they animated some of this stuff. All right, so you had the one scene where they're all lined up like this and you can't see anything, but then they slowly start to like turn or whatever. However, I think it was this way. They start to turn a little bit, and then you could see like all of them lined up. It was really epic. Plus scenes with they did this a couple times I think with the 6 clones going towards Avdol Magician's Red. They were all like moving around and stuff like that. It looked really cool. And at that point, Abdul shooting fire all over the place and just like shooting Crossfire Hurricane everywhere. Alright? And he ends up doing it once and hitting the ground, and that creates a hole. Alright? And he ends up using that hole later on when he uses Crossfire Hurricane Special, which allows him to shoot multiple Crossfire Hurricanes in whatever direction he feels like. And he does that in order to pretty much go Naruto on that dude, alright? He goes Naruto on him, he shoots him like Neji, he shoots Crossfire Hurricane down through the hole he created, and has it come back up and hit him. Alright, so that was funny. That was fun. That was a good way to end the fight. It was legit. Alright. So now Silver's sitting there on the ground, beaten, burning to death. But he still has his honor, and he's still being an honorable person and stuff, and saying how like it would be disrespectful for him to kill himself. So he's just gonna let him sit there and burn to death because that would be a fitting way to die. So yeah, Avdol hears that, he's like, wow, even though you're being controlled by Dio, your honor still shines through. So it would be a shame to have you die. So then he saves him. And after he does that, we end up hearing about his not his backstory, but we end up hearing about his sister. Okay, his sister got killed by this dude with 2 right arms. That's interesting. And he ends up dude's a stand user, by the way, and he ends up doing what might go down as one of the best poses of the season. Right, 18 minutes 52 seconds into the episode, he does this really epic pose. I can't even. I can't. I couldn't replicate it even if I tried. It was just too epic. All right, but it was an epic pose. He did that. He pretty much declared that he was going to find the dude that killed his sister. All right, which Dio has actually found the dude already. I am back when he actually met Dio. Dio used that fact in order to manipulate him, pretty much. Right? The dude could even give Bray Wyatt a run for his money. All right. Dio is so good at just using his words in order to bring people over to his side. He used the thing that goes in your forehead too, but he didn't even he probably wouldn't have even needed to. All right, he used Hermit Purple in order to get the vision of the dude with two right arms and uh, the crystal orb, whatever, and that alone was enough to kind of mentally bring Silver over to his side. But he goes with the little thing on his forehead too, just to be sure, and he orders him to kill Jojo and company, which he failed at. But now that he's free from Dio's spell, he wants to go to Egypt and find the dude that killed his sister. So he joins the crew. All right, and that's pretty much it for the episode. There was a little scene after that with like these two girls who came up wanting to talk to Jotaro. It was funny. It was funny. And then Silver did his thing. That was pretty funny. But that's that's pretty much it for the episode. The preview at the end showed them kind of just starting their journey to get to Egypt, and they got attacked by another stand user. I'm hoping it doesn't get too repetitive, because this is like the third time they've just been attacked by a random stand user. Well, not random, but pretty much. So next episode will be the fourth time, and I just don't want this entire journey to Egypt to be nothing more than them going somewhere, getting attacked. They go somewhere else, and they get attacked again. And I just don't want it to be just that. So, but hopefully they mix it up a little bit. But as for this episode, I'll give it an 8 out of 10. I thought it was pretty good, especially with the fight in the middle. Actually, no, I'll give it an 8.5. Yeah, the fight plus the story about Silver's sister. So, yeah, that's it, you guys. This episode gets an 8.5 out of 10. And I'll put my live reaction after this. Rate, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Definitely not calling him that. I'll stick to Silver. At first, I thought he was going to do something like Misaka Mikoto. Magician Dread is just sitting there like this. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Is that Fire Blast? It's literally just Fire Blast. But it's too fast for it to hit now. You'd have to pull a Yamamoto and just swing and have fire go everywhere. Obviously, it's an ability. Kagebunshin. No, that's wrong. It's like, there we go. He's not gonna die. He's not gonna die. See? He's not gonna die. He's so not Japanese, it's hilarious. He's just like an American while watching anime, seeing someone get tentacle raped, being like, what is this crap? That's so freaking weird. He's using freaking Hermit Purple again. I freaking knew they had to. I knew they had ulterior motives. Oh my god. Yada yada does it. That was an enjoyable episode. I'll see you guys next time.